Hello guys, how are you today? I hope you're all doing well. I'm really sorry that I wasn't able to post on Friday and Saturday, so I had to post today. I was really busy and I'm so sorry for that. But without further ado, let me get started with the first question, okay? I believe in this quiz there's only a couple of questions that are a bit different and require a bit of time. Otherwise, everything is very simple. So, if y is equal to 2x to the power of 8 minus 3x to the power of 6 plus x to the power of 4 over x to the power of 3, and they want what? The derivative, right? How do we find the derivative? Very simply. First of all, what do we start with? We start with dividing the x's. So we separate it, right? So it will be 2x8 over x3 minus 3x6 over x3 plus x4 over x3. So if you remove the, if you divide x8 and x3, x6 and x3 and x4 and x3, you will get 2x5 minus 3x3 plus x. Perfect. Now, what do we need to do? We need to take the derivative from what we have found over here. So let us take the derivative. Very simply, it will be what? It will be 10x4 minus 9x squared plus 1. If you don't know how to do the derivative, I'm sure by now you're supposed to know. If it's ax to the power of n, how do we take the derivative of this? Very simply, it's gonna be a times n x to the power of n minus 1. Later on, we'll apply something not in this quiz, but in the other quiz called the chain rule. And we will learn how to deal with it in the other quiz. So, perfect, we found the first one. It's 10x to the power of 4 minus 9x squared plus 1. Let's move on to the second one, question number 2. Okay, the line y equal minus 8x cuts the curve y equals this at the points a, b, and c such that x of a is smaller than x of b is smaller than x of c. So, before we start anything, let us expand the equation of the curve. So this is gonna be x plus 3x squared minus 3x squared minus 9x cubed. So then this and this will cancel and we will be left with x minus 9x cubed. Okay, so now the final simplest equation of the curve is x minus 9x cubed. Now what did they tell us? They told us that this line will cut the curve at the points a, b, and c. What do they mean by cut? When they say cut, they mean that it intersects. So when it intersects, what are we supposed to do? Whenever it intersects and we're dealing with a curve and a line, we will apply the equation curve minus line. So you take the equation of the curve, which is x minus 9x cubed, and you subtract it from the equation of the line, which is minus 8x, and you will get one equation, and this equation will be used to find the values of the intersection points. So after solving, you will get the equation to be 9x minus 9x cubed. Now, what do we do in this scenario? We take our calculator, or even without the calculator, if you want to solve it mentally or on paper, you can. And you will need to solve this equal to what? Equal to 0. When you solve this equal to 0, you will get 1, 2, and 3 points. And these 3 points will be what? They will be xa, xb, and xc. So let's see. I will do it on the calculator so I don't save... so I don't waste time, so I save time. So... on the calculator, I got 3 values, and they are 1, and minus 1, and 0. But what did they tell us? They told us that xa is smaller than xb, and xb is smaller than xc. That means xc is the greatest, so that means 1 is xc. xa is the smallest, that means minus 1 is xa, and 0 is gonna be what? It's gonna be xb. Now, they also asked us to find not only the x, but the y as well, right? Because they want the coordinates. That means x and y. Now that we have x, let us find their y. So we find yc, ya, and yb. Very simply, in order for us to find them, look what we're going to do. We're going to take the x that we found, and we substitute it either in this equation over here or in this equation over here, whichever, it does not matter. Same for this one and same for this one. So for example, if I substituted it in minus 8x, I would get minus 8 times 1, and I would get an answer of what? Of minus 8. So over here I'd have to write minus 8. Then same thing, if I did minus 8 times minus 1, I would get 8. So for this one I'd need to write 8. Now for the last one, it's minus 8 times 0, so that's 0. That means for this one I write it as 0. So now we have our points, okay? What are they? For A, our points are minus 1, 8. For B, our points are 0, 0. And for C, finally, our points are 1, minus 8. Now the only thing we need to do is substitute them over here. So minus 1, 8, 0, 0, 1, minus 8. Now we move on to part B. Which of the following statements is true? So here they're talking about what? About slopes, whether they're parallel or perpendicular. So how do we know if they are parallel or perpendicular? In order to do that, we will need to find the slopes. So do you remember what the equations were? We had for this one, in simplest form, it was x minus 9x cubed. And the equation of the curve was 9x minus 9x cubed. So curve minus line equal this, okay? Now we need to find the slope at A, at B, and at C. So which equation are we going to use? Are we going to use the line that cuts the curve? Are we going to use the line that joins points A, B, and C? Or will we use the original equation, which is what? Which is the curve equation. For sure, we're going to be using the original equation, which is the curve equation. Whenever you want to find the slope, you always go back to the original equation. Now, what's the relation to the slope and this equation? We will need to take the derivative. When we take the derivative, we will be able to substitute our x's and we will be able to find the slope. So we have our points in front of us. Let's take the derivative of this. It's going to be 1 minus 27x squared. So now what do? Sorry for the color change. I accidentally cut off the video, so I had to change the colors. That's fine. Anyways, so what do we do now? Now that we have the value of the derivative and we have the three x's, they are minus 1, 0, and 1. We can substitute them in the x over here and we will get the slope for each one. So let us see slope at each of the following. So let's do a slope at minus 1, slope at 1, and a slope at 0, and let's see what we will get. So it's gonna be 1 minus 27 times minus 1 squared. You will get an answer which is 1 minus 27 times minus 1 squared. You will get minus 26. Now, if you do 1 instead, it's going to be 1 minus 27 times 1 squared. So that's going to be 1 minus 27 times 1 squared. That's also going to be minus 26. And then at 0, it's going to be 1 minus 27 times 0 squared. So it's going to be what? It's going to be 1. So what can we say? If two lines have the same slope, or if 2 points have the same slope, we say they are what? They are parallel. That means this and this are parallel. When would they be perpendicular? They would be perpendicular if their slopes were opposite and reciprocal. So if our slope now was minus 26 and we had a slope to be 1 over 26, then these two would be perpendicular to each other because it's opposite and reciprocal. But since they are the same slope, that means they are parallel. And at B, okay, the slope of the tangent at B is what? It is 1. Perfect. So it's going to be that curve, the tangent to the curve at A and C are parallel. Remember, A is minus 1, C is 1. And then the slope to the tangent at curve B is 1. Perfect. These are the only two answers we need to put. Now we'll move on to question number 3, okay? Let px, 3x squares represent any point on the curve C. Let q be a variable point on C whose abscissa is this. So abscissa means x, okay? They gave us x and 3x squared, right? Now they said the slope of the secant line joining P with Q. So basically, we are dealing with a straight line passing through P and Q, right? So that means whatever happens at P will also happen at Q because it's a straight line, it's a secant, right? So let's see. At P, the points are x3, x squared. At Q, we have our x to be x plus delta x, okay? And our y is now gonna be, look what we did, 3x. For the y, we did 3x squared. So that means for the y of Q, we're gonna do 3 times whatever our abscissa is, and we are gonna square it. Perfect. Now we have the 2 points. What do we do in this scenario? Now we do y minus y over x minus x. So let's choose any random point. 3 times x plus delta x squared minus 3x squared over x minus x. So that's gonna be x plus delta x minus x, okay? So now I'm gonna erase these because we already have them. And we will expand. So it's gonna be 3 times x squared plus 2x delta x plus delta x squared minus 3x squared over x plus delta x minus x. Now I'm gonna erase from this side so we can simplify it even more. So when we simplify it, we are supposed to get, first of all, this is 3x squared plus 6x delta x plus delta x squared minus 3x squared over x plus delta x minus x. So minus x plus x, they will be removed. 3x squared minus 3x squared will be removed. So now we're left with this equation over here. Now, oh, I forgot there's a 3 over here. My bad. I forgot to multiply by the 3 over here. Please don't forget to do that. So now it's 6x delta x plus 3 delta x squared over delta x. So now what do? We take out the common. What's the common? Delta x. Delta x times 6x plus 3 delta x over what? Over delta x. So you cancel this and this. And now you're left with what? You're left with 6x plus 3 delta x. Now they told us if delta x approaches 0 or is approximately 0, what will be the slope of PQ? You just substitute this by 0 and you will get what? You will get it to be 6x. Now, when x is 1, what's the gradient? So you just need to substitute x by 1. So it would be 6 times 1, which is what? Which is 6 as well. So it's 6, then 3, then 6, then 6. We now move on to question number 4. What does it say in question number 4? Okay, this is very easy. If you don't know how to do it, it's ax to the power of n, a times n times x to the power of n minus 1. So in this scenario, it's x to the power of 5. You bring it down, 5x to the power of 5 minus 1, which is what? Which is 4. Very simply. Now we move on to question number 5, okay? Now we start a very interesting part. So what do we have over here? They want us to find the derivative of 2 binomials being multiplied together. So what do we do in this scenario? Usually when we're dealing with binomials, we will take them as u and v, okay? U and v. In this scenario, it's what? It's u times v. Do you remember what we studied in class to take u times v? U times v is basically u prime v plus v prime u. So now our goal is to find what? Is to find u prime, v, and v prime. So u in this scenario is what? U in this scenario is 2x cubed plus 1. U prime in this scenario is what? U prime in this scenario is 6x squared, okay? V in this scenario is 5x squared plus 3, and v prime in this scenario is what? V prime in this scenario is 10x. Now what do? We apply the rule. U times v gives us u prime v prime, u prime v plus v prime u. So we start 6x squared times v, which is 5x squared plus 3, plus v prime u, so 10x times 2x3 plus 1. Now we just need to solve, okay? So you're gonna get 30x4 plus 18x squared plus here 20x4 plus 10x. So now after expanding and simplifying all, you will get the final answer to be 50x4 plus 18x squared plus 10x. So this is our final answer. 50x4 plus 18x squared plus 10. We'll now move on to question number 6. What does it say in question number 6? So, the point on the curve y equal 4x squared minus 9 at which the gradient is 24 has coordinates. What are these coordinates? First of all, what do? Whenever they mention the word gradient and they give us a curve or a line, how do we find the value of the gradient? We very simply take the derivative. So we take the derivative of this, okay? So it's gonna be 8x. And they told us what? They told us that the gradient is 24. That means the derivative is equal to 24 because the slope is 24. And usually we take the derivative and substitute x to find the value of the slope. So now we're doing the opposite. We're finding the value of x. So now x is going to be equal to 3. How do we find the value of the second of y? Very simply, because we have our x, we will substitute it in the equation of the curve. So it will be 4 times 3 squared minus 9. So 4 times 3 squared minus 9, that's going to be 27. So it's 327. We'll move on to question number 7. What does it say in question number 7? Okay. The equation of the normal line, every single keyword is important. They want the normal line. To the curve of this at point with abscissa x is 1. Very simply, what do we need to do? First thing, we find the original slope. How do we find the original slope? You take the derivative and substitute x. So let's take the derivative of this. The derivative of this is gonna be minus x plus 0.5. So now we need to substitute what? We need to substitute x by our abscissa, which is 1. So minus 1 plus 0.5, we will get what? Minus 0.5, which is basically minus half, okay? Now what do? They want the normal line. So now we need to find the slope of the normal. How do we find the slope of the normal? We will take the original slope and we will take the opposite and reciprocal. Or, very simply, you can do minus 1 divided by minus half on the calculator. And you will get the value of the normal slope, which is what? Which is 2. Now that we have the value of the normal slope, we can proceed. But before we do proceed, we said that the normal line passes at which point? At x being 1. So we'll also need to find the value of the y in order for us to find the equation. How do we find the value of the y? You just substitute it over here. So it's gonna be what? It's gonna be minus 0.5 times 1 squared plus 0.5 times 1 plus 3. So that means our y is gonna be what? Our y is gonna be 3. Now we can proceed to solve the equation of the normal line. So y equals mx plus b, y equal 2x plus b. We have y and x. Y is 3 equal 2 times 1 plus b. So then b is then equal to 1. So then the equation is gonna be what? It's gonna be 2x plus 1. So the equation of the normal is 2x plus 1. We'll move on to question number 8. What does it say in question number 8? Okay, here we need to find the derivative. Again, you need to find because it's addition and subtraction, you need to find the derivative of every single one and then you will add them all together. So that's gonna be 15x squared minus 16x plus 7. Pretty much. So 15x squared minus 16x plus 7. We'll move on to question number 9. What does it say in question number 9? They said the point on the curve y equal x cubed minus 12x plus 5 at which the gradient is minus 12. Again, they told us that we have this curve, okay, and they told us that the gradient is minus 12. What does this mean? We need to find the derivative first of all, because that's how we will find the slope, okay, or the gradient. So it's gonna be 3x squared minus 12. This is our equation for the derivative, but they told us that equation for the slope, for the gradient. But they already told us that the gradient, they found it, it's minus 12. So what they want us to find is the value of x and the value of y. So basically move this to the other side, 3x squared equals 0. X is definitely going to be equal to 0. So if x is 0, what will be the value of our y? How do we know? We substitute it in the original curve equation. So it's going to be what? It's going to be 5. So 0 and 5. We'll move on to question number 10. What does it say in question number 10? The equation of the tangent line to the curve y equals x squared minus 3x at the point 3, 0. So again, what is the equation of the tangent line? It's a straight line. It's y equals mx plus b. So that means we need to find m and b because we already have y, which is 0, and we already have x, which is 3. So it's going to be, very simply, what we need to find is m and b, which is the slope and the y-intercept, okay? So how do we find the slope? We have a curve. In order to find the slope, we need to take the derivative, so it becomes 2x minus 3. We already have our point, it's 3. So it's going to be 2 times 3 minus 3, which is what? Which is 3. So now we have the value of our slope. So the equation is y equal 3x plus b. How do we find the value of b? You just substitute x and y. So 0 is equal to 3 times 3 plus b. So that means b is going to be equal to what? B is going to be equal to minus 9. So the equation of the tangent line is what? Is y equals 3x minus 9. Perfect. We'll move on to question number 11. What does it say in question number 11? Okay. Consider the curve whose equation is y equal 4x to the power of 3 minus 5x plus 2. Fill in the blanks with the correct numbers to make each statement true. So first of all, we need to find what? We need to find the equation of the tangent and then the equation of the normal. In order to do that, we need to find the value of our x, which they gave it to us to be minus 1, and the value of our y, which they also give it to us. Like, they didn't give it, but we can find it. We can substitute minus 1 here and we'll be able to find it. So 4 times minus 1 to the power of 3 minus 5 times minus 1 plus 2. And you will get the value of our y, which is what? Which is 3. So now we have the value of x and y. We will be using it for the tangent and the normal of the curve, or the normal of the tangent. So now, how do we find the slope? In order to find the slope, we will need to take the derivative. What's the derivative in this scenario? The derivative in this scenario is 12x squared minus 5. So we'll be able to find what? We'll be able to find the slope of the tangent. I will call it S tangent. And the slope of the normal. Okay? So, first of all, let's find the slope of the tangent by substituting minus 1 over here. It's going to be 12 times minus 1 squared minus 5. So basically, it's going to be 7. So the slope of the tangent is 7. The slope of the normal is minus 1 divided by 7, which is what? Which is minus 1 over 7. Now that we have the slope of the tangent, we have the slope of the normal, we have x and y, we will be able to find their equations. Because the tangent and normal are both straight lines, we will use the equation of a straight line, which is y equals mx plus b. So y, 3, equals m, which is 7, okay, or 3 is equal to minus 1 over 7, times x. What is x? X is minus 1, plus b. So here, what will we get? We will get, over here, we will get the value of b to be 10. And over here, after solving, of course, I'm going to leave the solving for you. It's going to be what? It's going to be 20 over 7. So for this one, we can make the equation very simple. Y equals 7x plus 10. But over here, as you can see, they don't want it in this format. Our equation right now is y equal minus 1 over 7, x plus 20 over 7. They don't want anything over anything, and they want to move x to the other side. So let us move x to the other side. But before that, let's remove the denominator. So let's multiply everything by 7. It will be 7y is equal to minus x plus 20. Now move x to the other side. It will be 7y plus x is equal to 20. So this is 7 over here, and this is 20 over here. So 7, 10, 7, 20. We move on to question number 12. Question number 12 is a very nice question, okay? To be honest, when I first looked at it, I was like, oh my goodness, this looks a bit long to solve, and we're gonna solve u over v and whatever. But then, after I thought for like 2 minutes, I saw that there was a much easier way, and then I hit my head. I was like, oh my goodness, why did I take it as u over v? Because honestly speaking, I'm sharing this with you because of course you can do u over v, but it's gonna take way more time than this other method. So it's always preferable, especially in the exams now, with very limited time. Of course, like, the amount of time we have is sufficient, but sometimes, like, if you come to the exam late, they will cut it off early for you. So to save the time, we're always going to try to find the easiest way possible, especially when it comes to derivatives like these. So now, let us start. It's gonna be what? It's radical 5x over the 6th root of x. Now, I don't like to see them in this format. I always like to see them in the exponent format. So 5x to the power of half, and then x to the power of 1 over 6. I looked at this and I thought, okay, let me do u over v. But I forgot that u over v only applies to nomials, like not a monomial. Monomial, we can do it without u over v, but u over v will only apply to binomials, trinomials, etc., so on and so forth. So because this is not like a binomial trinomial, we will not be using u over v. Instead, what will we do? We will separate the top. What does it mean? That means we will separate it into 5 to the power of half times x to the power of half over x to the power of 6. Now, so x to the power of 1 over 6. Now, what do you notice? Same base here, same base here. So if we're dealing with the same base, and it's base to the power, so like a to the power of x over a to the power of y, what will we do? We will do x minus y. So in this scenario, it's gonna be what? It's gonna be 5 to the power of half, okay? Now what will we do? We will subtract their exponents because they're on top of each other. So half minus 1 over 6, that's gonna be 1 over 3. So now it's gonna be x to the power of 1 over 3. Okay, so again, what did I do? I took the exponents and I subtracted them, and I got x to the power of 1 over 3. Now I can solve normally. It will be 5 to the power of half times what? Times, after deriving this, of course, 1 over 3 x to the power of minus 2 over 3. So then, with further solving and basically like getting the final answer, it's gonna be radical 5, which is 5 to the power of half, over 3 times x to the power of, or the cubic root of x squared. Now you're like, Amanda, how do you know when to put it and when to put it? Always, like, sorry, what I mean, like, where do I put the 3, where do I put the 2 when it comes to the radical? Always, when your exponent is a fraction, remember that it was once what? It was once a type of radical. It was a type of root. And how do you get the exponent from the root? It's always inside over outside. So always inside over outside. And if it's negative, that means you put it on the opposite side. So if it's negative down, you put it up. If it's negative up, you put it down. Okay, so our final answer is radical 5 over 3, the cubic root of x squared. So 3 and 2. We'll move on to question number 13. What does it say in question number 13? Okay, so question number 13. What does it say? It says, when y is the 4th root of x, then what is the value of the derivative of y, or y prime? Very simply, again, I don't like to see it in radical. I prefer to see it in exponent because it will make my life much easier. So what do? I will take it and I will do what? I will do inside over outside. So remember, this is x to the power of 1. So you're going to do inside over outside. So x to the power of 1 over 4. Because it's outside 4, inside 1. Perfect. Now what do? We do the regular derivative. So 1 over 4 x to the power of minus 1 over 4 minus 1, what's that? Minus 3 over 4. Okay. So now you just need to solve it regularly. It will be 1 over 4 x, and it's gonna be what? It's gonna be the fourth root of x cubed. So 1 over 4, the fourth root of x to the power of 3. Perfect. We'll now move on to question number 14. What does it say in 14? Okay, this one is nice. You know why? Because it looks like very complicated, but in reality it's very simple as well. So, x to the power of 10 over the 10th root of x. Now, what did we say? We don't like to see it in radical. We always like to see it in exponent form. So x to the power of 1 over 10. Because remember, inside over outside. Now what do we do? Because they both have the same base, which is x, we can subtract them. So it's going to be 10 minus 1 over 10. So that's going to be 99 over 10. That means this is all equal to x to the power of 99 over 10. Now, of course, we need to do what? We need to do the derivative. So let's take the derivative of that. It's going to be 99 over 10. X to the power of 99 over 10 minus 1, that's going to be 89 over 10. Right? So very simply, if we did it in the radical format, it would be what? Or actually, no. 89 over 10 is what? 89 over 10 is an improper fraction. How do we change it from an improper fraction into a proper fraction? Of course, you can do this on the calculator. You can change it from improper fraction to proper. Or if you can't do this on the calculator, I will show you another way. But first, let me start with the calculator method. You will do 89 over 10. Then you will do shift SD. You will have some, first of all, make it equal. So you will have SD like this on your calculator, right? So first of all, you write 89 over 10, you make it equal, then you do shift SD, and you will get it as what? You will get it as a mixed number, 8, 9 over 10. So we can substitute this by 8, 9 over 10. Now, if you don't have this function on the calculator, how do you do it? It's very simply 89 over 10. So it's what? It's basically, it's the 10th root of x to the power of 89. Now, 89, we can separate it into one of it being a multiple of 10, another being not a multiple of 10. So it will become 99 over 10, right? 10th root of x to the power of 80 times x to the power of 9, right? The only thing we did was we separated into a multiple, or a multiple of 10, and the other not being a multiple of 10. So, in this scenario, you will do what? 80 divided by 10. What's 80 divided by 10? That's going to be 8. So you will take it outside. It will be x to the power of 8 times what? Times the 10th root of x to the power of 9. So this is the final answer. Of course, if you use the calculator method and you had 99 over 10, x to the power of 8, 9 over 10, what do? You have this as a whole number. So that's going to be what? X to the power of 8 times x to the power of 9 over 10. So x to the power of 9 over 10, it's the 10th root of x to the power of 9. So very simply, it's 99 x to the power of 8 times the 10th root of x to the power of 9, all of it over 10. We'll move on to question number 15. If y is radical x5, then what's the value of y prime? We don't like to see it ever in radical, so let's change it into the exponent form. That's gonna be inside over outside. And remember, if they don't put a number on the outside, it's not 1, it's 2. If they don't put a number on the outside, then it's 2. So it's gonna be x5 over 2. So x to the power of 5 over 2. We take the derivative now. 5 over 2 times x to the power of, what's 5 over 2 minus 1? X to the power of 3 over 2. So that's very simply gonna be 5. The square root of x to the power of 3 over what? Over 2. Now, of course, you don't put 2 when you're writing radical, because radical initially means what? Means 2. Or it means the square root. So this is our final answer. 5x cubed over what? Over 2. We move on to question number 16. What does it say in question number 16? Perfect. Let's zoom in. What does it say? It says the radical 2 over 5x. And they want to find the derivative of this. Usually, I'd prefer to split the radical up and down. So radical 2 over radical 5x. Now, I don't like to see the radical. So what do? I will put it to the power of half instead. Okay, remember inside over outside. Now, I deal with this as if it's what? Like, I don't deal with it, because if I were to do the derivative, it would be 0. And anything multiplied by 0 is 0. So we don't need that. That's why we will keep it aside, right? Instead, what do? Instead, we'll move this up. Okay, it will be 2 to the power of half times 5x to the power of minus half. So then, do the derivative for this over here. It's going to be minus half times 5x to the power of minus 3 over 2. Okay? So very simply, it's going to be what? It's going to be, let me just substitute this by minus half times 5x to the power of minus 3 over 2. Right? So now, what do? We solve it normally. So it's going to be 2 to the power of half divided by, minus 2 to the power of half divided by 2 times 5x to the power of 3 over 2. So then we'd need to do what? We'd need to make it again into the radical form. So it's minus a radical 2 over 2 with the square root of 5x to the power of 3. Okay, so this is the final answer we get for this. Radical 2 minus radical 2 over 2 times the square root of 5x to the power of 3. We move on to question number 17. Question number 17 may appear to be a bit long, hard, and complicated. In reality, I'm gonna be honest, it takes a lot of time, but if you understand it, it won't be hard. Okay, so let's start. The figure below shows a sketch of a part of a curve with the equation this. Whenever I see that our y is not 1y, when it's something multiplied by y, I do not accept it, okay? What do we do in this scenario? We need to divide everything by 2, because we need our y to be y alone. Y should remain alone. It should not have anything with it. So when you divide by 2, it will become y equal minus 3 over 2x cubed minus 7 over 2x squared minus 4 over 2, which is minus 2x. Okay, they said that a couple of points on the curve meet the x-axis. What do we say when they meet the x-axis? We say that their y is equal to 0. Always their y is equal to 0. And these 3 points are the origin, which is 0, 0. The point K, minus 1, 0, and the point L. We need to find the value of the point L. How do we find the value of the point L? First of all, we know because it's intersecting or meeting the x-axis, our y is gonna be 0. So this is already what a big thing. We already found the value of our y. So now, how do we find the value of our x? Very simply, we know that when it meets the x-axis, y is 0. So what do? We'll substitute y by 0 in the original equation. So 0 is equal to minus 3 over 2 x cubed minus 7 over 2 x squared minus 2x. I'm going to leave that for you to solve. I'm going to solve it on my calculator by mod 4. It will be minus 3 over 2 minus 7 over 2 minus 2, and then for d I will put it as 0, and I will get 3 points. Minus 1, minus 4 over 3, and 0. So, which points did we already use? We used minus 1, we used 0, so what's remaining is minus 4 over 3. So that means the point over here is what? Is minus 4 over 3. Alright, so what is the abscissa of point L? We got it to be what? We got it to be minus 4 over 3. Now, they want what? They want the coordinates of n. Let's continue reading. They said that the normals to the curve C at the points O and K meet at the point M. So what does this mean? This means they came at the point O. This is the point O over here, the origin. And the point K minus 1, 0 here. And they said that their normals, let us draw their normals. For O, its normal is like this. For K, its normal is like this. They said their normals meet at a point, this point over here. And they want us to find the coordinates of this point. So very simply, I'm just going to rewrite again the equation of y after we divided by 2. Y is minus 3 over 2 x cubed minus 7 over 2 x squared minus 2x. Okay, they want us to find the point M, knowing that their normals will intersect. How can we find this? Because their normals intersect or meet, that means we need to make the normal, the equation of normal of point O equal to the equation of the normal at point K. So what does this mean? This means we need to find the equation of the normal at O and the equation of the normal at K. How do we do that? First of all, the normal is a straight line, so its equation is y equals mx plus b. We need to find m. How do we find m? Very simply, we need to find the value of the slope. How do we find the value of the slope of the normal? First thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna find the original slopes, okay? Original slopes of O and K. How do we find that? First of all, we need to take the derivative of this. When you take the derivative of this, it's gonna be minus 9 over 2x squared minus 7 x minus 2. And now, to find the value of their slopes, we just need to substitute the x of O and the x of K. So O is 0 and K is minus 1. We need to substitute them and we will get what? And we will get the value of their slopes. If you were to substitute 0, you're going to get the slope to be minus 2. And if you were to substitute minus 1, of course, you're substituting where? In this equation, of course. If you substitute minus 1, you will get the slope to be what? You will get the slope to be half. Now, are these the slopes we will be working with? No, they won't be the slopes we're working with. The slopes we will be working with, they are normal slopes. So what does it mean, normal slopes? It means you need to take the opposite and reciprocal. That means you're going to do minus 1 divided by minus 2 and minus 1 divided by half. Put it on the calculator. You will get this one to be half and you will get this one to be what? To be minus 2. Okay, so now we have the value of what? We have the value of the normal slope. So normal slopes, okay, what are they? For O, it is half, and for K, it is minus 2. Now, are we done yet? No, we're not done yet. We need to find the equations. We first start with O. How do we find the equation of O? It is mx plus b, y equals mx plus b. So we have that at O, the x is 0, the y is 0. So it's going to be 0 is equal to the slope, which is half, times 0 plus b. That means b is equal to 0. So what is the equation now of the slope? It's without without b because it's 0. And instead it's going to be y is equal to half of x. Now, for k, we know the equation, because it's a straight line, is y equal mx plus b. Y is what? Y, for k, it's minus 1, 0. So y is 0 is equal to m, which is minus 2, times x, which is what? Which is minus 1, plus b. So after solving for b, you will get it to be what? You will get it to be minus 2. That means the equation of the of k is y equals minus 2x plus 2. Now, what did we say? We said because they meet, okay? That means the equation of O is equal to the equation of k. So that means half of x is equal to minus 2x plus 2. Move this to the other side, you will get 5 over 2x is equal to 2. Okay, let me just erase these so we have more space to solve. And that way, you will get that x after solving is minus 0. Oh, by the way, sorry, my bad. It's minus 2. So it's going to be minus 0.8. Now we have our x. How will we be able to find the y? Very simply, you substitute it in either equations. You either substitute it here or you substitute it here. Either or, wherever you substitute it, you're going to get the same answer, which is minus 0.4. So now we have the value of our x, which is minus 0.8, and the value of our y, which is minus 0.4. Now, part C, very, very important to pay attention. Fill in the blank with the correct integer or decimal. They want the area of triangle OKM. So again, what did we say? We said here is K, here is O, and M is here. Now they want the area of the triangle OKM. Okay, just like any triangle, how do you find the area? It's going to be base times height over 2. So our base is what? Our base is minus 1. And our height is what? Our height is from here to here And what was this point over here? It was minus 0.4. So just do base times height over 2. So minus 1 times minus 0.4 over 2. You will get the answer to be 0.2. Very simply. We'll move on to question number 18. What does it say in question number 18? My papers fell, that's fine. Consider the curve whose equation is given by y equals 3x squared minus 2x plus 1. Perfect. The slope of the secant lines joining point P on the curve whose abscissa is 2, that means we have value 2 here. What about the y? If we have x being 2, how do we find the y? You just substitute it in this equation. So it's going to be 3 times 2 squared minus 2 times 2 plus 1, and you will get the y to be 9. And then they told us that there is another point, QH, whose abscissa is 2 plus h. What does that mean? That means that it's 2 plus h for the x. How do we find the y? We need to substitute it here. So it's going to be 3 times 2 plus h squared minus 2 times 2 plus h plus 1. So let me get my paper because I have it already solved. So it's going to be y is equal to 3 times 4 plus 4h plus h squared minus 4 minus 2h plus 1. Now after more expansion, it's gonna be 12 plus 12h plus 3h squared. I think I opened my notes, that's fine. So this is 3h squared. Now what do? We need to solve it. It's gonna be 3h squared, right? You need to simplify it. Plus 10h plus 9. And just like that, what do we have? We have the value of our y. Now what do? I think the notes got jealous of me using it got jealous of me using the recording app. It's not the recording app, sorry, it's on my tablet. It got jealous of me recording and using the pen on the recording instead of using it. It's okay, but you need to go because I can't focus like this. It's okay, he's also learning with us. Let him learn with us. But anyways, what do they want from us? They want the slope of the secant lines joining the point P on the curve, whose abscissa is whatever, and the point Q whose abscissa is whatever. So how do you find the slope? Y minus y over x minus x. So it's going to be 3h squared plus 10h plus 9 minus 9 over 2 plus h minus 2. So this will go bye-bye. This and this will go bye-bye. Now we are left with 3h squared plus 10h over h. Take out the common, so h times 3h plus 10 over h and h cancel. So now you have it to be 3h plus 10. So what's the value of a? The value of a is 3. Now let me get rid of this. That means the answer of a is 3. Now using part A, deduce the gradient of the curve at P. Very simply, what do? We just do derivative. Okay, how do we find the derivative? You just do the derivative. What's the derivative? It is 6x minus 2. Now how do we find the value of the slope? You take the abscissa that we have on the slope, on the secant, which is 2, and that's also on the curve, so it's 2. And where do we substitute it? We substitute it in x. So 6 times 2 minus 2, that's gonna be 10. That means the gradient of the curve at P is 10. We'll move on to question number 19. This is so easy. What's the derivative of 7x? It's 7. We'll move on to question number 20. What is the gradient of the curve at this? Okay. Gradient means slope. They gave us a curve and they gave us an x. What do? We take the derivative of the curves. Sorry. So it's going to be 24x to the power of 3 minus 5. Okay, now substitute substitute x by 2. So 24 times 2 to the power of 3 minus 5. And you will get the answer to be 187. We move on to question number 21. Okay, consider the line whose equation is given by this. Sorry, the curve, not the line. They want the line normal to C at point 0, 0, and 5s. So what do? they want actually for us to find the value of s. That means they want us to find the value of y at 5. But however, we know that 0, 0 is intersection between normal and curve, whereas Q5S is what? Is a point on the normal. So what do we need to do? First things first, we need to find the original slope. So slope original, we need to find it. How do we find it? We take the derivative, so that's going to be 4x minus 0.125. And then you substitute it by the point we are given, which is 0. So 4 times 0 minus 0.125. That's minus 0.125. So that's going to be minus 1 over 8. This is what? This is the original slope. How do we take the normal now? We take minus 1 divided by minus 1 over 8. That's going to be what? That's going to be 8. Now, what do we have? We have the value of our slope for the normal. So let me just erase this. So we have the value of our slope normal. What is it? It is 8. Now we need to find what? We need to find the equation of the normal. How do we do that? Y equal mx plus b, because it's a straight line, okay? So we have our y and our x, and we have our m. So that means 0 is equal to m, which is the slope 8 times 0 plus b. b is then equal to 0. So now the equation is y equals 8x. Perfect. Now we can use it to find what? We can use it to find s. So you take the 5 and you substitute it over here. Y equals 8 times 5, which is what? Which is 40. Perfect. Yeah, the last two questions, I think they're easy. Okay. The derivative of any number that does not have a variable is 0, always. Okay, now they want us to find the derivative of this. So bring it up, it would be x to the power of minus 3. So minus 3x to the power of minus 4. So then it would be what? It would be minus 3 over x to the power of 4. Minus 3 over x to the power of 4. Let's submit, and hopefully we don't have any mistakes. Perfect, thank God we don't have any mistakes. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed and have a wonderful day.